Here, it's Perp back with another video, and I just got out of watching Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Now, it's been a while since we got a new Mad Max movie. It's been almost like 10 years. When did Fury Road come out? I think like 2015, something like that, or 2014, somewhere around there. And, I'm a very casual watcher of these Mad Max films. I've never watched the original movies. I've only watched Fury Road and now this. I do, though, find this universe to be pretty interesting, and it's very much still kind of like shrouded in mystery in some cases. But what I liked about Fury Road and also with this movie is there are good entry points into just getting into these Mad Max movies. These are like these post-apocalyptic type of settings, but has this like kind of heavy metal vibe to it. It has this really gritty vibe to it. It's very violent, and it's all about its action set pieces, because there are some phenomenal action in this movie. And some of the visuals, I will have to say, are a little hit or miss for me. Not as quite as tight or clean as Fury Road, but you have Anna Taylor-Joy in this, and she's starring as Furiosa, the younger version of Furiosa, because Charlize Theron, she played the older version in Fury Road. So this is pretty much her origin story. And Anna Taylor-Joy is just a very unique talent. She was in Dune for like a little split second. She's been in a lot of other movies, and she's always done a really good job. And this is a very challenging role for her, because it seems like there's a lot more action, a lot more, physical acting and physical demand that this movie requires. And you see that throughout her performance. And she doesn't speak as much in this role at all. So that's not an easy task to do, to not have a lot of dialogue and still being engaged with what you're watching. Because this is a 2.5-hour movie that feels just like a absolute roller coaster from start to finish. It's broken up into like these 5 chapters, or these 5 parts, so you can kind of see where you're at in the story. I would say a lot of this movie, we see the younger, like the kid version of Furiosa, and she did a good job as well, and how she crosses paths with Chris Hemsworth's character, which he plays one of the big bads. Immortal Joe's in this as well, and we kind of see how he plays a part in this, and how his character crosses paths with Furiosa, and how that came to be in Fury Road, which is really fascinating. And let's talk about Chris Hemsworth real quick, because in the beginning of this movie, we see a very young Furiosa, the kid version, and her leaving this green place, which gets mentioned in Fury Road as well. And that's another place within the Mad Max universe that's still kind of a mystery. They haven't really explored that side of things, and I guess it's for good reason. But I could see some people kind of being, I don't know if people would be frustrated, but it's not going to, this movie's not going to answer everything that you had about that place, just to kind of let you know. But going to Chris Hemsworth, because he is a dictator in this. He is a kind of villain that is just crashing out, for better terms. Is just so reckless. He doesn't really know how to lead. Even though he has this big army behind him, he just doesn't know what to do while he's trying to go to war with Immortal Joe. And him and Furiosa kind of have this fake kind of father-daughter kind of relationship, where that's how he kind of sees it. She just kind of looks at it like, no, this is the person that did somebody that I really loved harm, and I need to get revenge. It's pretty much a revenge story, seeing just the inception of this character Furiosa, and I think they did a really good job of capturing who this character was at a younger age. And it was really just refreshing to see Chris Hemsworth as Dementus in here playing this sadistic villain, and I think he does a really good job playing the bad guy. Overall, there's some issues I have with this movie. I think it didn't need to be like 2.5 hours, because I definitely felt the runtime. There was certain storylines that just felt very dragged out. The whole Jack character, I felt like if you could have took that whole section of the movie out and it still kind of played out better, or at least sped that up a little bit or tighten that up, you could have definitely cut out like 20 minutes out of this movie and I would be a little bit more happy. Not to say like it was like made the movie trash for me. It's just, I think it would have been better paced. I could say that. I think the pacing kind of just ends up being sluggish around that area. But, you know, the special effects is another thing. Is like some of it looks a little weird, not as polished as Fury Road as a whole movie, but the action set pieces, the action in this overall was very stunning, very fast paced, and I really enjoyed that. And this definitely is still one of the better movies to come out this year, even with my flaws that I have with it. But I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this better than Fury Road, or is it just an okay movie? Or do you think that it was a little overhyped or could have been better? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.